Hello students of class 12. Welcome back once again to your biology class. Hope you all are fit and fine and continuing with your studies properly and getting ready for your boards. So, in our last class we have completed the chapter 4, that is reproductive health. Today we will start a new chapter, chapter 5, principles of inheritance and variation. So before starting the chapter, you have to know what do you mean by genetics, variation or inheritance. What is inheritance or heredity? How you will define? The process by which the characters are transferred from one generation to the next generation is called inheritance or heredity. The differences in traits of individuals of a progeny from each other and from their parents are called variation. And the branch of science which deals with inheritance and variation is called genetics. Gregor Georg Mendel, he was born in 1822, is known as the father of genetics. Gregor John Mendel is known as the father of genetics. Mendel performed his experiments with garden pea plant, the scientific name of which is Pisum sativum. He conducted artificial pollination or cross-pollination experiments using several true breeding varieties having contrasting traits, and he observed one trait at a time. He hybridized plants with alternate forms of a single trait, which is known as the monohybrid cross. The seeds thus produced were grown to develop into plants of first filial generation or F1 generation. What did Mendel do then? He then self-pollinated the F1 plants to generate plants of second filial generation or F2 generation. Later, Mendel also crossed the pea plants that differed in two characters, which is known as the dihybrid cross. Now here you can see the 7 pairs of contrasting characters selected by Mendel for his experiments. First is the dominant trait and second is the recessive trait. Now tall, round, yellow, green, inflated, green, axial. These are the dominant characters. And what were the recessive? Just the opposite, short, wrinkled, green, white, constricted, yellow, terminal. These were the 7 pairs of contrasting characters selected by Mendel for his experiment. Now before starting the chapter, you have to know some technical terms associated with this chapter. First, genetics. It is the branch of life science that deals with the study of heredity and variation. What is heredity? I told it's the transmission of characters from one parent to their offsprings. What is variation? It is the difference among the offsprings and with their parents. Heredity variations, these are genetical and inheritable. What do you mean by environmental variations? These are acquired and non-inheritable. Phenotype, what is that? The external appearance of an organism due to the influence of genes and environmental factors. What do you mean by genotype? The genetic constitution of an individual responsible for the phenotype. What do you mean by phenotypic ratios? The correct proportion of phenotype in a population is known as the phenotypic ratio, and the correct portion of genotype in a population is known as the genotypic ratio. Homozygous means the individuals having identical genes in an allelic pair for a character. It can be both capital T or both small t. Heterozygous means the individual who have unidentical genes in the allelic pairs for a character. One will be dominant, another will be recessive. So you have to know these terminologies because later on in this chapter we require this. What do you mean by dominant gene and recessive gene? The gene that expresses its characters in heterozygous condition is known as the dominant gene, and the gene that fails to express its character in heterozygous condition is known as the recessive gene. Hybrid means the progeny obtained by crossing two parents that differ in characters. Another two terminologies are the back cross and the test cross. What are these? The cross between F1 hybrid and one of its parents is known as the back cross, and the cross between hybrid and its homozygous recessive parent is known as the test cross, and test cross is used to identify the genotype of the hybrid. These are the terminologies you require while going through the chapter. Now, very important question. So many varieties of plant species are found. Then why Mendel selected pea plant for his experiment? Why garden pea was selected for experimental material? Why? Because it is an annual plant with a short life cycle. Pea plant has perfect bisexual flowers containing both male and female parts. The flowers are predominantly self-pollinating, and it is easy to get pure line for several generations. It is very easy to cross-pollinate the pea plant, the flowers of the pea plant, because pollens from one plant can be introduced to the stigma of another plant by removing the anthers very easily. And pea plant produces a large number of seeds in one generation and could be easily raised, maintained and handled. And a number of easily detectable contrasting characters or traits were available in the pea plant or pea flower. So Mendel chose garden pea plant for his experiment. This is a very important question. So what he did, Mendel observed that the F1 progenies always resemble one of their parents and trait of other parent was not seen. F2 stage he saw expressed both the parental traits in the proportion of 3:1, and the contrasting traits did not show any blending at either F1 or F2 stage. In dihybrid cross, Mendel got identical results as in monohybrid cross and found that the phenotypes in F2 generation appeared in the ratio of 9:3:3:1. Now what he did, you can see in the picture, he took 2 capital T, 2 small t, and after that the gametes which came from these were 1 capital and 1 small, and after that again he crossed it in and made it for F2 generation. Then what was observed? 2 capital T, 1 capital 1 small t, another capital small t, and both small t. These were the 4 types of ratios came. So the tall plants, how many tall plants you can see, because tall is the dominant character. At the last, if any of these two contain capital, that will show the dominant character. So where capital T is present here in this chart, wherever you can see capital T, the first one, second one and third one, see the last line, these all are having tall plants, and last one you can see both small t. So what this both small t exhibit? They exhibit the recessive character, that is the short plant. So here what will be the phenotypic ratio? 3:1, 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant. And what will be the genotypic ratio? Genotypic ratio is how many varieties. You can see capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t. These are the 3 different varieties. So 1:2:1 will be the genotypic ratio. Understood? Now, inheritance of one gene. By the process of monohybrid cross, the inheritance of one gene can be easily explained. The cross between two parents differ from one pair of contrasting character, that is known as monohybrid cross, you know this very well, and crossed tall and dwarf pea plant, collected seeds and grew to generate first hybrid generation or first filial generation is known as the F1 generation. For other traits also, F1 generation resembled only one parent and trait of the other parent's character were not seen. Then self-pollinated F1 or F2 generation, and F2 generation where 1/4 were dwarf or short, and 3/4 were tall or identical to their dominant parents. F1 generation of one parent trait shown and F2 both parent traits shown in the ratio of 3:1 and no blending were seen. This is the concept of inheritance of one gene. Now Mendel he proposed that some characters were being passed to the next generation through gametes, which he termed as factors or genes. The factors or genes are the unit of inheritance, and it contains the information required to express a particular trait. The genes which code for pair of contrasting traits are known as alleles, and capital T is used to denote the tall and small t is used to denote the dwarf. So plant pair of allele height will be either both capital T or one capital one small t or both small t. And Mendel proposed that true breeding tall or dwarf plant identical or homozygous allele pair of any type of genotype, it can be both capital or both small t. And he described the term tall or dwarf, that is known as the phenotypic character of that trait. So it will be either dominant trait or recessive trait. If any one of the dominant character is present, that will exhibit the dominant trait, and if both the recessive trait are exhibited, then only the species will be recessive, will be having the recessive character or the short character. Understood? When it comes to monohybrid cross, if the phenotype is tall and dwarf, it is crossed. Tall is represented as both capital T, and dwarf is represented as both small t. When these are crossed, the F1 generation, one capital T and one small t, because at least one of the capital T or one of the dominant character is present, so the species will be all tall, because tall is dominant over dwarf. And again, if this capital T small t is crossed again with capital T small t, the gametes and these characteristics in the F2 generation will be represented as such. So the phenotypic ratio will be 3:1 and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. Now the formation or production of gametes. Gametes is produced, then the zygotes are formed. So the production of gametes and the formation of zygotes is represented by the Punnett square. And this is basically a graphical representation or calculation of probability of possible genotypes in genetic cross. So this F2 generation, how you are exhibiting is by means of chart that is known as the Punnett square. Now Mendelian laws of inheritance or Mendel's laws of heredity. Now based on his hybridization experiments, Mendel proposed the law of inheritance. His theory was rediscovered by Hugo de Vries in Holland and Erich von in different countries. These were again rediscovered. Now with that details we don't need to know right now. So this Mendel's law of inheritance, three laws were there. First, law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independent assortment. The law of dominance, that is the first law, what does this law state? This law states that when two alternative forms of a trait or character, that means genes or alleles, are present in an organism, only one factor will express itself in F1 progeny, that is known as the dominant, while the other that remains masked is called the recessive. So the dominant character suppresses the recessive character. Law of segregation is known as the second law. Here what happens, this law states that the factors or alleles of a pair segregate from each other during gamete formation, such that a gamete receives only one of the two factors. They do not show any type of blending. Now what happens here in the second law or law of segregation? The parents, suppose it has been taken as round yellow seed, both capital R, both capital Y, and wrinkled green seed, both small r, both small y. Now the gametes which will come are capital R, capital Y, and the other one will be small r, small y. Now when comes the F1 generation, all will be merged up together. So what will be capital R, small r, capital R, Y, small y. So in the same manner, F2 generation is done. Now this application of law of segregation, you can see here for heterozygous parent, here it has been given as tall and dwarf. So how it will be, the male gametes and the female gametes on both the sides, and you have to find out the monohybrid cross, capital T, here comes two capital T, small t, here comes one capital, one small, capital T, small t, one comes capital small, and both small t will be coming at a time. This is the application of law of segregation. Third is the law of independent assortment. What does this law state? According to this law, the two factors of each character assort or separate out independent of the factors of other characters at a time of gamete formation and get randomly rearranged in the offsprings, producing both parental and new combination of characters. This is the law of independent assortment. So three laws we have seen: Mendel's law of inheritance, three laws: first law of dominance, law of segregation, law of independent assortment. Now we will know what is incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is a phenomena in which the F1 hybrid exhibits characters intermediate of the parental gene. Okay, intermediate characters will be shown, neither too tall nor too short. Here what happens, the phenotypic ratio deviate from the Mendel's monohybrid ratio. You can see in the flower colors of 4 o'clock plant or Mirabilis jalapa and snapdragon, where red color is due to both the capital gene, capital R, white color is due to small r, and pink color will be one capital R and one small r. So this one capital, one small, that is the intermediate color, that is the white and red mix up together and will form pink color. So it's neither white nor red, it will be intermediate, that is pink. So here one capital and one small r is represented as the pink color. So this is the incomplete dominance. You can give an example. Okay, you can see this chart which you can see in your screen now. The red and the white is given here. So one gametes is coming. These gametes are merging up together in the F1 generation, and in the F2 generation what happens? One red, one white, and two pink. These two pink are due to incomplete dominance between the red and the yellow. Clear? Now while making this chart, you have to make as such. See it properly, which I have told. Now we will know about codominance. The alleles which are able to express themselves independently even when present together are called codominant alleles, and this biological phenomena is known as codominance. For example, you can give a best example is ABO blood grouping in humans. Now this ABO blood group are controlled by gene I, and gene I has three alleles: IA, IB and IO. Or you can write a small I also in that case, last one. IA and IB produce RBC surface antigen, sugar polymer A and B, whereas small I does not produce any antigen. This capital means IA and IB are dominant over small I. So what happens? IA and IB are dominant alleles and small I is the recessive allele. When these dominant alleles are present together, both will express equally and produce the surface antigen capital A, capital B. So they will show codominance. Since human are diploid, each person will possess any two of the three I gene alleles, resulting into 6 different genotypic combination and 4 phenotypic expressions. So this basically blood grouping is taking place due to the presence of this allele A, B, AB and O. You see the genotypes here. What are the causes of this group? Due to the presence of which genotype A group is formed? You can see the process of the blood group, a good example of codominance. Understood? Now we will know about test cross. Test cross is a method devised by Mendel to determine the genotype of an organism. In this cross, the organism with unknown dominant genotype is crossed with the recessive parent. In a monohybrid cross between violet colored flower and white colored flower, the F1 hybrid has violet colored flower and you have to show it. Okay, in charts you have to show. Now if all the F1 progeny are violet color, then the dominant flower is homozygous, and if the progenies are in 1:1 ratio, then the dominant flower will be heterozygous. Clear? Now you can see here F1 hybrid is crossed with recessive green wrinkled plant, and recessive green wrinkled will be all small because it is recessive. All small means recessive, and F1 hybrid will be having round yellow. So what will be the gametes? It were small r, small y, and these 4 types of phenotypic ratios have come. So it will be 1:1:1:1. So this is the dihybrid test cross. Now you see how you have to do the Punnett square. The gametes you have to write in these 2 parts, and you have to write in this way. This is the way in which Punnett square method is done. This all you require while finding out the F2 generations. Clear? And this will be like this manner you have to write. And this way you have to write the genotypes. Understood? Next, what is pleiotropy? Pleiotropy is the phenomena in which a single gene exhibits multiple phenotypic expression. The pleiotropic gene will affect the metabolic pathways resulting in different phenotypes. For example, phenylketonuria is a disease which is caused by mutation in the gene coding for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase. The affected individuals will show mental retardation as well as hair and skin pigments. This is pleiotropy. Next, polygenic inheritance. What is that? It is a type of inheritance in which traits are controlled by 3 or more genes. Such traits are called polygenic traits. The phenotype will reflect the contribution of each allele and also will be influenced by the environment. For example, you can see the human skin color. Suppose 3 genes, capital A, capital B, capital C, will control the skin color, and these capitals all will be dominant allele, and small a, small b, small c will be the recessive alleles. So when it is crossed, the F1 generation which will come, they will show the intermediate color between the dark and the white, and the F2 generation will have the varied skin tones with each type of allele in the phenotype determining the darkness or lightness of the skin. So this is polygenic inheritance. Clear? Next, chromosomal theory of inheritance. The chromosomal theory of inheritance was proposed independently. This was proposed independently by Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri in 1902. What does this theory state? According to this chromosomal theory of inheritance, since the sperm and egg cells provide the only bridge from one generation to the other, all hereditary characters must be carried in them. The hereditary factors are carried in the nucleus. Like the Mendelian alleles, chromosomes are also found in pairs, and the sperm and the egg having haploid sets of chromosomes will fuse to re-establish the diploid stage, and the genes will be located on the chromosome in a linear order. As there are 2 chromosomes of each kind of somatic or diploid cell, there must be 2 genes of each kind, yes or no? One in each of the 2 homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes will synapse during the process of meiosis and get separated to pass into different cells, and these will form the basis for segregation and independent assortment. And a gamete will receive only 1 chromosome of each type and thus has only 1 gene for a trait, and the paired condition will be restored by the fusion of the gametes. Understood? I hope you have understood till this much. Read properly in your home. This is basically a new concept, principles of inheritance and variation. So till this much today. We will continue the remaining portion in our next class. Thank you.